So, do you prefer the left or the right?
The right, I guess.
You want to make yourself useful, right?
Yeah.
The left kidney it is. Hand it over.
Hi, my name is Amy.
Hi, I'm Lanan. Are you ready to stay up all night? Because tonight, we're going to be talking about
Organ harvesting. Ooh.
Squid Game Season 2. Speed summary.
So, your millions of dollars costed countless lives.
your mind is not at ease.
You can't sit still.
So,
You spend all your money to get armed up and go back into the game that nearly got you killed.
for revenge, for the sake of saving humanity,
When in the game, you make new, trusted friends.
you're surviving just like the last game.
However,
This season, it's different.
Played these games before!
Keep your friends close.
and your enemies closer. Back to what we were saying. Organ harvesting.
I don't know, can you elaborate?
Yeah, so it's whenever, I think you could either donate or the other way is people steal your organs. Either that's like lying to you or literally killing you to get your organs. But anyways, it's so then they can use those organs on someone else. Like they sell it so other people can use it for their own bodies, like to save their life.
And that's one of the subplots that happens in this season.
Mm-hmm.
They show a glimpse of it in the first season already, but this one we kind of see more of it because we're introduced to the subplot with the guards now.
Yeah.
There's more insight with the guards and the behind the scenes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So we see more of what's happening there.
They're not supposed to do this. Like there's like a second bad group in the Squid Games where they are basically not killing the people right away, boxing them up, but they like, instead of like burning the bodies would drop down and they would like harvest their organs.
They'll shoot body parts that they know it's not like a vital point, like your heart or your head.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just shoot your arm
Yeah.
or your leg.
There was this one soldier, or not soldier, guard 11, the pink girl, the pink suit girl guard. Yeah, basically she would like look at like the players, right, and like she would see one that shot but not dead yet. She would like shoot them
to make sure they're like actually
like
dead,
dead.
like how they're supposed to. Basically, she was just doing her job
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah. And then like these other guards, they basically beat her up and they're like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, 'cause
like
she was like getting in the way of their plan.
mm-hmm.
But it like raises the question, why is she doing that? Why is she making things complicated for herself?
What's her motive? Like, why can't she just go with the flow, like do what they're doing too, instead of just like making the game and making her life harder by like going against that group. And because I was like, if anything, disclaimer, I'm not saying that what's the disclaimer? Like, I'm not saying that killing is a good thing.
Oh, really?
I'm just saying
You're not downplaying organ harvesting victims.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, but my point is that she just could have just, because it's still bad either way, right? Like stealing their organs and like selling them, or them dying. Her way of like making it more humane is killing them like straight.
Right then and there.
Because it no one wants to die a slow death. It hurts. So just killing them right away is more humane.
And also, like, when you're already dead or you're like on the brink of death, right? They're just taking your organs out. You have no say in it. That alone is just very inhumane.
Yeah.
Because, like,
my opinion,
it's
though.
disrespectful to the body.
My opinion, though, it's already bad already, right? And I was telling Lenan, I was like, I think she just could have just let them live, because either way they're gonna die. At least their organs are gonna be used. That's just my opinion, right? Like, it's either bad either way, but I'm just saying, like, at least their bodies are like being used to like help someone else potentially.
First of all, the whole thing is just inhumane.
Yeah.
Moral. I mean, anything Squid Game related is inhumane, but this is even more inhumane. Regular donors and stuff, it's already the percentage
Is already low.
percentage of organs being able to be used is already low.
It's
Them
40%. 40%. And most of the other organs don't get used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that already is low. I can only imagine them doing illegally like this. It's like even lower. But like Amy's argument is like, even if it's like a little bit, it's still more useful.
Yeah. Then
nothing,
they're
But
gonna die either way.
only in this situation would I like kind of agree with that, because it's like the worst versus like the bad versus bad.
Yeah, but I'm not saying in the real life. I'm not saying that. Okay, I also would kill them right away, so it's more humane. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Okay, don't kill me. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
It's gonna like pop up behind you.
People were saying, because like she got morals and stuff, that's why she's doing that. I was like, she's making her life harder.
But
Like, just do what you need to do so you can find your lost daughter, right?
Yeah,
Your baby.
I think there's like a deeper motive. It's not she's just trying to be morally right, because if we're talking morally right, nothing about this is morally right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so I was like, she joined the game to make money or whatever the case may be. So I was saying the girl, she's like there for one purpose only, is to make money or whatever, to like find her lost daughter, or in North Korea or something like that. And so why is she like making her life harder by like going against these bad people, you know?
Yeah, I think.
So if we're talking about, like you said, morals, right? Like, you're already joining this game killing people.
Yeah. So I don't think it's about morals. I really don't. I think she has a deeper motive that probably will be revealed in season 3. The thing about this season, all the subplots felt so random. And I think it's because like it's broken into like another part. Like season 3 as well.
Yeah.
And like so far there's been lots of theories about her too, because it just left off. We don't know what's up with her.
Yeah, there's like no information.
She doesn't really talk much too.
Yeah.
Much either.
Yeah.
So adds to the mysteriousness.
Speaking
of,
of, like, they could have made the season a little longer, to be honest. Like, everyone's saying that.
but that's why like they have season 3.
But it's so cut off. Like, there's no like.
I agree. I think it could have been executed better. At least like either the ending could have ended at a better spot, or the subplots need to be placed in it better, because it felt so randomly placed. Like we're like in a game and then suddenly like there's all this like situation going on with the guards.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with the regular game though, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then they randomly insert the boat people. Like they were talking about it, they forgot about them, and then at the very end they're like, oh yeah, these people are looking for them still, by the way.
And we forgot they existed.
Yeah. I forgot about the captain guy. I forgot about Junho or whatever, you know, that they were there. Speaking of, you know, like now that we talked about the subplots, moving on to the main plots, more of like the main story, right?
Yeah.
And a big difference between season 1 and season 2 is that now in this season they introduced a new mandatory voting system where, so if you remember back in season 1, they did mention that the players could leave, but it was only after the first round, and they don't really mention it anymore. Right? And it was only one time that they had the option to leave. This season they have the option. They have to vote after every single round, right? And it's not just simply voting, it's like in front of everybody. You even get a tag
Yeah.
to like differentiate like, oh yeah, I voted to stay in the game, I voted to leave the game or to end the game. And this whole thing causes a division, like a even more so than the last season. You know, it's like clear, distinct groups, almost like the colors too. It's like red and blue, so it's like Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, it just represents in the real world how there's so many different groups of different beliefs and how people will go against each other. I think it's talking on like how humans are naturally. They're bound to, you know,
Go against each other?
yeah, split up into divisions. Like that's just what happens. It kind of leads to this question too, where like, do the people really have free will? The players, you know, because in this game it seems as if they do, right? Like they're able to vote, they have a say.
They even like get to leave if they want to.
Yeah, like it's emphasized way more in this season than the first season. The first season it's like you're in here, you're locked in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this season it's like,
You have a choice.
yeah, it makes it seem as if,
Like they have free will.
yeah,
But I think they don't. They're like manipulated to stay.
that's what I think.
Like they're like, before everyone's like so excited to leave, right? And then they drop down the pig and they drop down the money. And they're like all staring at the money falling down, you know? They're like,
yeah,
before you guys can leave, let me show you how much money you can make.
yeah.
And they stay every single time.
And it's also, I think, like a psychological manipulation going on. Because it's like, they already won one game. In their head, they feel like they could just win another.
Yeah.
That's why towards the beginning, especially like the first game, or the second game too, they were like, just one more game and we'll leave. And they would say that after every single round. And why they continue is because in their head, I already won 2 games. Like their ego just keeps building as they go. So they keep thinking that like, I mean, surely I could win again. You know? So it's kind of crazy. And it's also like in real life too. I would say this is a little bit of like a touchy topic because people have different beliefs and whatnot, right? But like people would say that humans have free will.
Yeah.
Right? Like we have free will. We could like make our own decisions. But I remember we've talked about this before. We were like, do we really though?
I don't think so.
Because you know people also always talk about like you have a certain destiny. There's like a certain plan for you.
Yeah.
So it just like brings up that question. Do we really have free will, like 100% free will?
Because I think part of what you're saying, like our society tells us like just unspoken, like, so for example, like roles of how a husband or wife should be, you know what I mean? Or like, let's say in the Asian household, your parents like, oh, you don't have to do this, you don't have to be a doctor. But then like, I don't know, you're just like,
There's like a pressure.
yeah, you know what I mean? And you like, oh, I want to be a doctor, but
Because yeah, you dive deep into it, we in society are very manipulated by media. You know, TikTok now, or social media in general, things are able to spread to us so easily, and then like seems believable, you know. So we're manipulated by that. So like similar in Squid Game, they're also being manipulated in ways too, because like the environment, they're also set up to where like they're pit against each other, and like nothing is direct.
yeah.
Nothing is direct at all. They're
No.
not saying like you have to play the game, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's all like a psychological game that's going on. It's even a psychological situation between Jihan and the frontman, right? Like the whole time from the very beginning, the opening, right? Jihan, we find out that the sole reason for the season is so that he's trying to take down the game, right? So the show or the season's really focused on Jihan, and like at the beginning he meets with the frontman, who at the time has a mask on, and then he's like, okay, put me back in the game, this and that, right? And then later the frontman shows up in the game, but Jihan doesn't know. They're playing the games and they're bonding with each other. Like they're bonding with each other so much so that people are literally shipping them, calling romance. Like for a second I forgot the frontman was the frontman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they had such cute moments.
Up until the end.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the psychological game is going on here.
Yeah.
With the frontman is he's trying to like mess with Jihyun. That's what I think his purpose is. It's not fully revealed why. I mean, I think it's like kind of just like given, you know, like he's trying to mess with Jihyun. That's why he went in here. It's not because he's bored, you know, but he's trying to like get closer to Jihyun, learn more about Jihyun so that like he can
Betray him
so it could hurt more. That's why when he knew that like Jungbae was Jihyun's friend, like very close friend, right? The frontman was constantly like, not constantly, but yeah, like there were multiple times where he helped Jungbae. A distinct scene was during that game with like all the rooms, and then he killed the guy and he specifically dragged Jungbae to the room to save him, like so they could win, you know? I think that's like one factor. He got close, so he knew those Jungbae's his friend, so that's why he killed Jungbae in front of Jihyun. It also like threw Jihyun off his game a little too. You know, at the end.
I think so much so that even I was like, did he ever feel the frontman? Did he ever feel like a connection with these people? Or was he like playing the role so well? Cause like so in the game, right? I thought when Lanan was telling me, oh, he was like doing this all on purpose. But did the frontman ever feel like he had a connection with these people he played in the games with? Because in the sixth game that he played,
The six
leg game that he played with, he was struggling to freaking throw the spinner top thing, right? He was struggling so bad, and like it looked so real. He was like screaming, and I was just like, oh, maybe he's just crazy, like he's just a psychopath, right? That's how he, I don't know, somehow became the frontman. But Lanan's like, no, if you notice that like he's left-handed and he was using his right hand, so he was purposely missing it on purpose.
Well, because like that's something that the actors talked about, because in the script that's what he was supposed to do, is like the first few times he was supposed to pretend that he couldn't do it.
That's what they said in an interview.
Yeah. So the whole left hand thing was just because like that's how they got him to do bad, to like use his non-dominant hand. But in the script it was meant so that he like, kind of show that like, oh, he's bad, so that also like deceives the audience too, you know, because this whole time you're like, you know, his motive, you know, he's the frontman, it's no secret, right? But here you're like, wait a minute, like maybe he's having fun, maybe he had like his heart softened for them.
Why would he risk like getting killed though, doing that, like wasting time? You know, because he wasn't the last one to finish the game. So, like, him wasting time could have, like, pressured and made the last person, or towards the end, last person scared, so they wouldn't make it on time to the finish line. So, but Lannon's like, don't you think that, like, the people know that he's the frontman? I was like, no. So I think some of them do. I think...
No, the guards.
The guards, yeah, I know. But all the guards know?
They should. That's what I think. I think that like all the guards have like a heads up.
But why do they have to wear a mask around each other? And they
don't know each other, but they might just know the frontman.
Okay, maybe.
But maybe it was announced or something like, okay, guys, this person's entering the game. He's the frontman. Don't shoot him.
But yeah, but in front of everyone, he has to die if they lost the game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, he didn't have to do all that screaming and shit.
But yeah, that's just like the whole, since we're on the topic of that game, the six leg game, that scene was so like eerie in a way. It was extra eerie, even though it seemed so like happy. Because it was happy, it seemed extra eerie to me, because it's Squid Game, people are dying around them, but there's like happy music playing, they're like screaming and cheering for each other as there's like blood on the floor.
Oh yeah.
You know, So
they're playing a child's game.
And for some reason, it just seems so wholesome. You know, like all these teams
Like,
are working together, and they're like happy for each other. Again, as there's blood on the floor, it's crazy. Oh yeah, the whole show they do that multiple times too. Even in the season 1, they would like play these weird remixes of normal, rather like songs that just don't belong in that scene.
While they're like playing the games or like killing each other.
Yeah, it'd be like the most like out of pocket songs, and it'd be like remixes, like, you know, the Fly Me to the Moon remix. It's like, bro, as people are like dying, they're like, you know?
Yeah.
And like thing that I wanted to talk about was the big fight
Yeah.
that happened, because there you kind of really see like who's like standing up and like who's the brave one, you know, because they asked like Jihoon, you know, he came up with the whole plan and everything. That's when he asked like, okay, who knows how to shoot guns, and then like who's gonna go in there and fight with us. And then the mother son duo, you know, the mother like pulls the son back, like, don't go, you know. And then that's where like the scene with Daeho, everyone hated him because he didn't bring the bullets.
Yeah. Oh my god, I hated him.
Yeah,
For that. Like, what a fraud. Aren't you like in the Navy SEAL or something? Fraud.
I personally, like, I just felt bad for him. I felt bad for him. Like, for some reason, I didn't hate him. Like, I felt for him. And then I saw people were saying too that his reaction was like one of the more realistic reactions. And I'm like, yeah. Like,
but how come he wasn't like that with other games? But towards the end, he's like freaking out. Like,
maybe it's because it's like guns. Like, it's like more like he's surrounded by it. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
They were having theories that he was part of like the games, part of not playing the games, but part of like working for the games.
Oh yeah, but I really don't think that theory is true though. I think he's like straight up just PTSD.
That pissed me off.
But I'm also not as mad because he, in a way, he indirectly saved Hyunju, the trans girl. And like, I love her. Her character is so good.
Oh yeah, I like how in the 6 leg game too, she was trying to help everyone. Like,
she slapped.
Yeah, she was just because the woman was a freak. Like, she was freaking out. Like, she was a sidekick or whatever, but she was like speaking like, oh, like God, like there's no God or something, and she slapped her face.
It's like personal, bro. It's personal. She was like, I love her character Hyunju because like, going into it, I was like iffy about that character because I'm like, oh, it might just come off as like they just put it in there just to be like inclusive, you know. They're trying to like diversify. Like, I was scared that's what was gonna happen, but
she was actually a good character.
Yeah, it was done so well. There was more to her than just being trans. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
because sometimes like when shows add in trans character, it's like, it feels random. It feels like it's just there.
Yeah,
to be inclusive.
Yeah.
But this was done really well. I think I haven't heard a single person say that they don't like her character. She did everything right.
Oh, you saying though the Navy SEAL saved her? They could have survived either way if he had brought the bullets. So that I don't think that's an excuse.
But they were getting outnumbered too.
Okay, who knows?
Because you see, like, yeah, at the end, like, they were getting outnumbered.
Yeah, but still, like, because
eventually,
you saying like, oh, he saved her, like, okay,
indirectly, because she had to go back and get the bullets. So like,
I just don't like the Navy SEAL guy. That's not an excuse. I loved her. She could shoot and she could survive, you know. So
as she should. And then, you know, show kind of just ends off there.
Yeah. Ends off with frontman betraying them.
Yeah.
And there's theories.
Don't know.
Oh, the biggest theory that I've seen that was like cool. I don't know if you've seen the TikTok I sent you, but it was like the thing that I think it was saying that how Jihoon is going to become a frontman, but then he's gonna portray them, like he's gonna pretend to be like.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one. The part where like he becomes a frontman because like eventually the current frontman is able to prove to him that like, see, humanity's like messed up anyways. Jihyun goes into this having like a lot of hope in humanity, and that's like why he wants to like take down the whole thing, because he like believes in humanity, you know. Throughout the game you just continuously see that like people have a choice, but yet they're still voting to continue the game. So people are saying like maybe Jihyun just lost hope in humanity. It's like, yeah, I'll be the frontman. I've heard of that theory, but I haven't heard of the like second part where like he betrays.
Yeah, where
Lot to read. Okay, yeah, so in the interview with Jimmy Fallon asked the actor that played Jihyun, will Jihyun be the frontman like in season 3? And then he had the buttons with like yes or no, and instead of pressing yes or no, he just pressed both. So we don't know what that's like left for interpretation, right? And then basically it's saying like he's gonna betray, like he'll be frontman, but like once he gets closer to the current frontman and he like knows more info, like more of an insight, then he'll betray and kill them.
Yeah, I think that's a good theory. Like where it could end off good, you know, wrap it all up. Cause that would be kind of sad if he becomes a frontman
And like just continue on the loophole. I mean, that would prove the point,
yeah,
you know, that like humanity is gonna messed up. But yeah, I don't think that would make a good like complete sound story. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That'd be interesting to see, and it's like different from like the games, because if they just continue on, they can't possibly just continue on the regular games.
Yeah, that'd be
Because
kind
that's
of
just
boring.
too dragged. You know, this is like a minor thing, kind of off topic, but like some people were saying like, oh, they just wanted to watch the show for the actual games, and I'm like, you're kind of like the VIPs. You're just watching the games, see people die. Like, what do you mean?
No, me too.
Like, there's like the actual plot.
Cause like I watched the whole thing all the way, but I would want to skip to the games. Cause it's interesting. It's the most interesting.
It's interesting,
part.
but like the plot was also interesting. I would say the first part I wasn't as like, I was hooked, but I was not as, you know, hooked as it could be. But like I do still think it's interesting. Yeah. Cause like, what, you find it interesting that like you're just watching people play games and just die? No plot?
I mean, there is plot, but the plot itself is so long. They don't have to make it. Not saying they don't have to, but it feels long. And like the most exciting, like exhilarating part is the games where they're all like, yeah, you know, makes sense.
Fun fact: in the first season, the first episode, there was 255 murders, and then in this season, there was only 2 murders in the first episode. So, fun fact.
Wow.
Maybe that's why people really liked season 1, because they liked seeing all the murders first episode. Just kidding. Okay, that's about it. We have to wait till season 3 to know more about, and then to confirm all the theories that everyone's having, like bajillion theories. So, in the meantime, we're gonna introduce our new game segment, where we're gonna have 15 seconds on the clock, and we're supposed to draw our favorite scene
Yeah.
in the 50 seconds.
Okay.
So, what is that? Oh, the 6-leg game?
Yeah.
Oh. This is mine. I low-key like blanked out for a second.
Why? You can't remember what you wanted to draw? You
Yeah.
could have added more details. That's so sad.
It gets the point across, okay?
I got 6 people on my board.
I got a gun. Anyways, talk about your favorite scene.
The 6-leg game, I thought it was the most interesting game so far. It was fun.
Oh, yeah.
I also wanted to draw it because I thought it would be funny. How would I draw 6 people in 15 seconds? So
That is, I did like that scene. Because
Yeah.
it's like the mix of like the wholesomeness, but yeah, it's like eerie.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Okay, so my favorite scene was like when Hunju kind of like she like stood up and like came up with a plan, and then you see her like occupation, because like she had that original job, and then like she was eventually like kicked off because of like she's trans, but like she actually was really good at her job, you know. And then in the fight scene, that's when like you see it come out. She's like leading them, and then she's like, okay, you go over there, like I'll go here, and then she's like finds the best blind spots, and then she's shooting the cameras. Oh yeah, I could have added the cameras, whatever. But whenever she shot the cameras, I was like, period, like that's so clever, because in a time where you're like it's so chaotic, but she still like was strategizing so well. So I was like, period.
Loved her.
Yeah.
All right.
So first thing we're gonna rate is the execution. So like there's the plot, but like how well was it executed, where like we were captured, you know.
Execution for me, I would say like a 6.5.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say a 7, because like the biggest thing that's pulling it down for me is the subplots felt so random, and like
It could be longer for me, where it could make a little sense and not
yeah, the ending also felt
scramble.
too random, like
Yeah.
cliffhanger, but a little too random. And then next is bingeability. So that's how well you think.
How bingeable it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say 8.5. I sat and watched the whole thing. Actually, I watched the first two episodes first, and then like right after that, I watched it all at once in one sitting.
Yeah, the thing that's bringing it down was like the first 2 episodes.
You think so?
Yeah, because like out of that I was hooked.
Mhm.
The first episode, it's not bad. Some people are being dramatic with it. You know,
It could be better.
I think it could be better, but like I thought it was still pretty interesting. Like the Russian roulette that was going on. You get to see more of like Jihan and his character and how he's grown. But obviously, it was not as a bingeable, that part. So I give it like an 8 on bingeability. The rest, I sat down and watched all in one go as well.
Overall,
And then, boom, 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 our overall.
I would say for season 2 an 8. Yeah.
I'd say like 8.5. Because I did really like the characters and the relationships between the characters that were built. It was like interesting. And the whole like behind the scenes with the guards, although like how they did it, I think it felt random. But having that was very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, like, it's pretty good. Some people were like, it's not that good. Or like, oh, it's not as good as season 1. I'm like, granted, usually it's hard to top season 1 of things. And then
Yeah.
also, it doesn't help that there's supposed to be a season 3 connected to this. So I feel like until season 3 comes out, there can't be like a correct judgment, I feel like. Because it's incomplete. Yeah, like how could you make a fair judgment when the story is literally incomplete? You know, so that knocks it down there, I guess.
But different shows besides Squid Game though, there's times where it gets better. Yeah, I would say. And seasons are not supposed to feel incomplete.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We said that we're gonna stay up all night, but unfortunately, I think we should go to bed. It's the healthy choice, right?
Close your eyes. Shut your